Hi everyone and welcome on Econ Easy. So today's video is going to be about the supply. Last video was about the demand. If you haven't seen it, I suggest that you do. And so today we will have a look from the producer side of production. And so we'll start with the law of supply. And basically the law of supply says that there exists a direct relationship between the price and the quantity supplied. For example, when the price of Coke goes up, the quantity produced by the producers will increase. And so we have a curve that is upward sloping, which is the opposite of the demand. And we can see here that when the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up as well. And so, same as for the demand, the supply can also shift. And it goes in the same direction. So when there is a decrease in supply, the supply shifts to the left. And when there is an increase in supply, the supply shifts to the right. Same as for the demand. And so, also similar as for the demand, there are 5 big shifters of the supply curve. The first one is the number of producers. Indeed, if the number of producers or suppliers increases, the supply will shift to the right because for every price there are more quantity produced. Second shifter is the price of resources. For example, if in the production of Coke, the price of sugar increases, it will cost more for the producer to produce each quantity of Coke, and so the quantity supplied at each price will decrease, so the supply shifts to the left, and it goes the other way around, of course. Third shifter is the technology. For example, if we develop more technology, it becomes more efficient to produce Coke, and also it costs a little bit less money. Every producer will produce more for cheaper, and the supply will shift to the right. The fourth shifters are taxes and subsidies. And so taxes is when the government imposes a tax on the supplier. So it is costly. The supplier have to give the government a certain amount of money. And so it will shift the supply to the left. It will decrease the supply. And subsidies are when the government is actually giving money to the suppliers to produce more. And so the supply will shift to the right. And finally, as for the demand, the fifth shifter is the expectations. And that depends, of course, on what the market is expecting to come, what will be the trends, all that kind of things. Now, remember, it works the same way as for the demand. When we ask ourselves what happens to the supply curve when the price of Coke increases or decreases, nothing happens. Why? Because we move along the curve, so the supply curve stays the same, and it's only the quantity supplied which increases or decreases. So remember the difference between the quantity supplied, forgot to change it up here, and the change in supply. So remember, when the price changes, the supply stays the same. We move along the curve when it's one of the 5 big shifters that moves the entire curve, and they create a shift of the supply curve. Now it's time to put that all together. So we have the demand from last time for Coke, and we have the supply for Coke that we saw today. And so we put them together, and the point at which they crosses is the market equilibrium. So we have the optimal quantity and the optimal price. So here it's around 2.5, the price, and the quantity should be around 32. And so that's where the market is at equilibrium, as I said. So the price and the quantity are optimal. But what happens if the price is too high or too low? Let's first look at when the price is too high. So for example, the price is 4 here. We have what we call a surplus. What is happening is that the producers are producing or supplying too much of the good, and the consumers are not buying that much. So basically, when the price is 4, the consumers are only buying 10, and the suppliers, the producers, are supplying 50. So we have a surplus, which is equal to the quantity supplied minus the quantity demanded, which is 40. And what will happen if the market is behaving like in a normal way, in what we should expect or see in reality? Suppliers will produce either less, or they will lower their prices up to the market equilibrium price. And so the quantity supplied will be equal to the quantity demanded at that price. Now let's look at the case when the price, the initial price, is too low. In that case, the price is 1. And when the price is equal to 1, suppliers are only producing 10 bottles of Coke, for example, and the consumers are asking for 50. So what is happening is that we have a shortage. There is too much demand and not enough supply. So the shortage is equal to the quantity demanded here minus the quantity supplied, which is 40. And what will happen in the market if everything is normal? Well, the suppliers will increase the prices because they see that people are asking for it, so they will increase the prices, and there will be less consumers willing to buy at that higher price, and so we will eventually reach the market equilibrium at the price of 2.5 and the quantity of 32. So that's it for today. I hope that you understand how the supply works and that you've seen the video from last time about the demand. And next video, we're gonna put that again together and see how the market reacts to shock in demand and shock in supply, either just one shock in demand and one shock in supply, or if there are two shocks at the same time. All right, so thank you for watching, and don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will see you soon. Bye.